Audio test 1 2. Audio test 1 2. Audio test 1 2. Put that back up. I'm not sure if you can hear me now. I was just trying to get my audio tested, but then I got some evil feedback, so oops. Put that back up. I'm not sure if you can hear me now. I was just trying to get my audio tested, but then I got some evil feedback. Which I'm probably going to get again because I had the audio turned on. Oops. Again. So let me know how that sounds, if I still have feedback or if I don't. And hopefully we can get this show started. I'm not sure who's all out there watching, but is it still giving us feedback now? What about, can you guys hear this? It's always a challenge to get this started. Oh, sweet. So this is good now? Sweet. Okay, well, let's give this a shot, see if my audio works for the other stuff, and we will go forward. All right. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of It Came from the Outer Dark. Technically, this is the first episode. We used to be calling this What's Up, but I decided that was a stupid name, so I changed it. And we're going to go with this new one. I think it has a better pulpy feel and goes more with the concept of the channel that we're kind of aiming for now. So, as always, let me know what you guys think. Comment in the chat window there, or if you're watching later, drop me a comment down below. I'm going to do one more thing before we get too carried away. There we go. Need one of those. Need a bunch of those. How am I supposed to review my beer without my skulls? A maximum of 5 skulls, as always. Alright. More prep now. File, save presentation. I was using OBS before, and I finally got sick and tired of it never working and crashing every time I tried to do anything. So I switched over to XSplit, so I'm just reloading everything and rebuilding the presentation. So a couple things to talk about this week. First, we're going to drink some Neapolitan Milk Stout. This is made in Douglas, Michigan by Saugatuck Brewing. Perhaps a First Nations name? I do not know. That's who makes it. Perfect. Alright. Flavored strong beer with chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, hence the Neapolitan name. Alright, I got my skull. I got my Neapolitan Stout. Pour that bad boy in there. Oh, so you guys want to see that pour probably. There we go. Skulls of mine. But cheers, everyone, to the weekend. Oh, that's actually pretty Neapolitan-y. Surprising. I'm going to give those guys 4 skulls of my enemies simply because it's such a surprising flavor. I would give that a shot if you guys can find it anywhere. That's completely interesting. I am shocked. Well, first thing I want to talk about, got the blog up here, of course. So I got my blog. I got this Conan 2D20 skill map. This is for all you Conan players out there. If you're ever playing Conan, I was actually watching a live stream of some guys playing Conan for the first time. Attributes normally, then they have these fields of expertise, and the fields of expertise are called like combat, and combat is supposed to represent all the skills under combat, like parry, melee attacks, ranged weapons, etc. So when you want to launch a melee attack, you need to take the value they give you under combat, say 2, and add it to your agility, say 10, which gives you a target number of 12. Conversely, if you want to parry, you got to take your coordination and add it to that same value, which is cool for the basic stuff, because the basic stuff you're going to get to know really well, really easily, simply because, well, you use them all the time. But what if you're using something else you don't use all the time? There's a lot of skills. How do you figure out which one they fall under? Well, you got to look it up, look on an actual character sheet, blah, blah, blah. Pain in the ass. Pain in the ass. So after watching that video, excuse me, I built this NPC skill map. Oops. NPC skill map. So it has the 5 fields of expertise: movement, combat, fortitude, knowledge, social, and senses. Underneath it has all the skills, like acrobatics, athletics, melee, blah, blah, blah. And next to them in brackets, it has the ability score that is they're relevant to, which is super handy, because if you want to do a persuade skill, you don't know if it falls underneath knowledge or senses or whatever. You look at the little chart, you go persuade is social, and it uses personality. So you find your personality, add the social to it, and away you go. Super, super handy. Just wanted to point that out to everyone. I went the wrong way. I wanted to close that. So that's the first thing I did on here. The other one I want to talk about quickly was the Conan 2D20 flowchart. Put this on here as well. If you're new to the game, this will help you resolve your skill tests, which are how you do everything in Conan. So check that out. And as always, of course, I have a million videos on how to play the game in my playlist, because it's what I'm playing right now. So I just want to take a step back, because this is brand new, and I have my new little live stream intro. What did you guys think of that? Was that kind of cool? Was it neat? Did it work? Was there sound? I'll have to try your cherry and one if I ever get back down that way. Cherry stout sounds interesting. There's guys up here who do I think a cherry porter. It's freaking yummy. Super high in alcohol too. This one is apparently has no alcohol in it. They didn't tell me. It's weird. No, 6%. Cool. And you had sound on the intro. I never know if the sound works because I have speakers and a microphone here, so it causes feedback. So we want to talk about some Kickstarters. Some Kickstarters this week caught my attention. Yeah, that porter is good. First Kickstarter, Gamefolio 2.0. If you travel around a lot, you might get a bag specially designed for it. You got all this cool stuff. I don't personally play and travel too much, but sometimes it might be good for like small skirmish miniature stuff like Song of Blades. Well, I thought it was kind of neat, so I thought I would just kind of bring everyone's attention to it that's watching channel. And I'll put the link to it down below as well when I'm done with the stream here. That one kind of caught my attention. It was kind of neat. And if you have me on Facebook as an actual person versus just Starships and Steel, I finally clicked on the... Where's my stuff here? Where's my XSplit? There's my XSplit. I finally clicked on the Kickstarter for Joan of Arc by Mythic Battles, Mythic Games, who did Pantheon. And I sort of was under the impression that Joan of Arc was just another version of that. I thought it was just going to be the same Mythic Battles Pantheon system, only with Joan of Arc. So I had never looked at it. I was like, meh, I don't care about that. I got my Greek mythology. I'm pretty happy, blah, blah, blah. And then yesterday, I clicked on it. That was a huge, huge, huge mistake. Let's take a look at this Kickstarter. Because, okay, first thing we're going to talk about here is that this stuff is all about 15mm scale, so it's not 28mm, so don't lose your mind when you see all the shit you get. But still, you get a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'm really blown away with this Kickstarter. I haven't pledged yet, but I can't imagine I won't, I guess. So again, 15mm. Base pledge, 120 American dollars. 120 American dollars. Let's go down here. Base pledge, 120 gets you all of this. 238 miniatures. They're all 15mm, but I like 15mm, so that's cool. 21 heroes and villains. Look at all these guys. Got mounted heroes. The Terraskew guy, he's a giant like Ankylosaurus kind of thing. You got a witch. You got an Archangel Gabriel, a unicorn, a werewolf, Gog and Magog, which are, you can only get super exclusively on Kickstarter. Pretty cool. And then you get like the rank and file. 170 troops on bases, and I'm pretty sure they pop out because you can get these bases separately, so your guys can be based with guys together or individually. There's some billmen, halberdiers, sergeant-at-arms, bowmen, crossbowmen, peasants, angels, so much stuff, man. 6 mounted bowmen, 12 wolves, ghost warriors, 15 blacksmith, man, and then terrain elements, man. You get farmhouses, big farmhouses, ruined churches, shrines, wells, rocks, walls, wagons, stakes, trees, colored base rings, and then tiles to put down so you can have like grass and stuff. I'm like, this must be I had watched this and I went through this and assumed this was everything they had pulled up with not just the base pledge, but with all the add-ons. And then I got to here and they're like, plus 35 unlocked stretch goals. I'm like, the fuck? And yeah, I'm going to swear a lot because I was like, holy shit. 144 free miniatures again. You got more 12. You got peasants and more pikemen and sergeants at arms. So look at all the freaking little plastic men you get. Siege guns and everything. Demons, bears, flying demons, plague victims, man, it's cool. It's cool. You get all this cool, you mount the Joan of Arc. And this is just all, like, let's go back up for 2 seconds. Like, is that for real? You get up here, you got your pledge, $120, 1 core box, 1 Gog Magog, and all unlocked stretch goals. Holy crap. Holy crap. So let's just scroll back down through here, get through all the stretch goals, through the English Army, through the Holy Army, through the Unholy Army. With some scenarios and battle modes, languages, blah, blah, blah. So here's the add-ons you can get. Excuse me. This is over and above. $420 gets you a Legendary Dragon, all this other cool stuff. Siege. We'll talk about that stuff momentarily because I'm not super interested in most of it, I don't think. Let's go down to the add-ons, though, see what they look like. So these are those bases I was talking about where they had put more than one guy on there. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. And then we scroll down, you get like dice towers, and then more of those bases. And you get the compendium, which I might get because it's got more art, and I like art and painting guides and terrain guides and stuff. But let's look at this Siege. This Siege add-on, $85. Gets you a battering ram, trebuchets, pavises, siege towers, ballistas, bombards, more of those siege guns, culverins, arquebusiers, arquebusier, I don't know how to fucking say that. 4 sappers, you get a freaking keep, man. You get a goddamn keep. 6 barricades, 6 towers. What the hell? Gatehouses, 2 of them. You can build another whole castle with this shit. 4 long walls, 12 short walls. 8 castle rooms, man. The stuff you could build with that. Amazing. And then we had some more add-ons that I'm less interested in, but still cool. Lots of cool stuff there. We're going to go down here and look at their Legendary Dragon because that thing is crazy. So Legendary Dragon. Remember, this dragon is for a war game where the guys are about 16 millimeters tall. So if you take your regular Warhammer dudes or your Reaper Bones guys, cut those guys in half. That's how tall those figures are. So that's what this dragon's for. Look how fucking big it is. Holy shit. That's like bigger than half the goddamn 28 millimeter ones out there. It's gorgeous. I'm like, oh my god. Insane. Insane. So, pretty much what I think I probably should not have clicked on this Kickstarter. Positive side, it's only going to cost me like maybe $300. Crap. Fortunately, I have no other Kickstarters on the go. Everything else I have is paid for. I'm just waiting for stuff to arrive. So that's good. That's good. Other Kickstarter news. Let's just go back up to the top so we can look at the cool art up there. Other Kickstarter news. I was talking about Mythic Games Pantheon. This looks pretty cool too. I backed that. They are currently stating that everything is still going to ship, wait for it, on time. We're supposed to still have it like in December this year. Amazing. Like, holy fuck. I mean, they were Mythic Battles, and those guys hooked up with Monolith to do this one, and Conan was kind of a cluster when it came to everything getting done and shipped, which I don't care. I mean, whatever. Shit happens. But this one's got lots of cool miniatures, and it's going to ship on time. Cool. speaking of Monolith, they released a really quick starter that was like a week long for a campaign book called Book of Skelos. I don't think that's what it's called, but it's something like that. That's already shipping, so we should have that soon, which is pretty cool. A couple other things to talk about quickly before we get on to one of the things I want to show you guys. This one came across my feed as well. This is called Doom Realm. This is the web page I got. So I got it from a link. The link I got it from is a blog called Die Heart, like Fighting Fantasies, and speed on that. And finally, the last thing in terms of things I found this week, good old Hankrin Fernale over at Runehammer Games just released this. So if you play cards and you like his artwork, I don't play cards, so I don't know that I'm going to get this, but so it's 52 deck cards and all of his art. So they're cards he designed essentially. So that's pretty cool. They're like $10 or $8.50, I guess, for US poker. Probably 10 Canadian. I was probably logged in when I looked at it the first time. So if you like his stuff, I would check those out as well. Again, I'll put links to all of this down below in the description of this video when we're done. That's the stuff I wanted to talk quickly about when it came to this week in terms of things I saw that I thought were interesting. Also this week, I ran a combat video where I tried to explain Conan 2D20, and I was playing with Roll20. And despite the simplicity and ease to get into that system, every time I use it, I'm like, I hate this system. I don't like it. It has some things that are good, but the bad for me outweighs the good on that system. One of the good things that I can see is it has built-in audio-video, which is cool. So you guys can just all log in and you have all your stuff handled by one thing. No problem. That's good. Except if you have XSplit installed, apparently it won't come off that camera for your webcam. So in order to actually work it, you'd have to run XSplit in the background and put your camera on that to make it work. That's kind of a pain in the ass. You could get around it, but it would be better if they just fixed their freaking software so I could select whatever webcam I wanted. But it doesn't have that way. So in order to actually use it properly, you're going to need to just go and grab Google Hangouts anyways and play with it through there. And if you're going to do that, well, why would I use Roll20? I mean, free, I guess. Cool, it's free. If you want to get more advanced features, which I kind of want for a system that doesn't support, if I want to look at Conan, shocking, I'm going to need to do some stuff. So if I have to look at modifying the API or do custom sheets, and there is one custom sheet that a guy did, which is awesome. Good job. It's a good thing. But there's no NPC sheets, which it kind of needs. And even so, you have to set them up in a weird way to make the tokens work, which drives me nuts. So I was talking about Roll20. I'm just freaking rambling all over the place. So APIs, modifying spreadsheets. So you have to get a pro account. Pro accounts are $9.99 a month. Forever. Like 2 years from now, you're going to be paying $9.99 a month. So what does that bring us? It brings us to Fantasy Grounds. I will admit Fantasy Grounds is a little bit scary to get into, especially for customization. But you can buy an Ultimate license right out for $120 American, I think, which means after a year, you're no longer paying $9.99 a month. You're done, which I probably should have done because I've been paying it monthly as well. Point is, you have the option. You can choose just to buy it and get rid of that monthly subscription fee. That's awesome. Super customizable, also awesome. Standalone application, awesome. Doesn't have built-in audio video, so you have to use Google Hangouts or something like that. Okay, well, that's something I have to personally do with Roll20 anyways, so kind of a pain in the ass. Fortunately, the community's big, and one of the guys on the Conan group, Jolly GM, JC Locke on YouTube, we'll give him a link as well, somewhere down below. And he had started a skinning of the more core system, which is like a generic rule set in Fantasy Grounds, to build a Conan game. So that's, if I turn on my my Fantasy Grounds here. Let's turn off Chrome. Let's turn off Chrome. Turn on Fantasy Grounds. So that's what we're seeing here. This is his skinning of the More Core system, essentially. This system, I think, it looks nicer because it's not in a web browser, which I think is cool. If we go to options, I meant to do this first. We can throw this on here. So he's got, oh, I got to close the freaking options. You can't see it. Click. He's got like a Age of Conan on here. If I was to maximize this, you'd be able to see it better probably. Although it'll be stretched a little bit. So you see the whole system here. You can see all the options down the side. You can see Robert E. Howard's Conan, Adventures of Dreamed Of, blah, 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 which is cool because it's definitely for Conan. I went in and I added the Doom logo because I think it's cool. So that's what my desktop could look like for it, which is pretty cool. I like that. So I went ahead and I took his work that he had done, and he did a lot of work on skinning this, and it's awesome. I love it. I went ahead and I went into the characters first, and I'm not finished yet. So I got Natara here. She doesn't have a name because I haven't named her. And I rebuilt the entire character sheet. So the More Core character sheet looks like this. And you can add your attributes on here, whatever you want to do. Create item, whatever. You can add all your skills and all that kind of stuff. And you can set up a Conan character sheet this way, and it'll work fine. Which is what I believe he's done. But I've gone back in and I've renamed hero points to fortune points, so it's like Conan. I've added these d20s to roll because Conan starts at 2d20. I've added all your attributes and skills on here. I don't have a personal place to put talents. You'll have to come in here and add those however you want. It's because they're just descriptions anyways. But it's pretty cool. I mean, like if you have 4 personal momentum that you've generated and you want to spend, and you want to roll dice. You want to roll 4 dice, so that's you're going to pull 2 points of the momentum pool, and you're going to click on your dice right next to it. Excuse me, that beer. It's going to roll my dice for me. It's going to tell me that I used 2 points momentum and 0 doom, and 2 points of player momentum was used. Momentum's gone down to 2. It's rolled my dice. It's told me I've got 5 successes, and I've rolled a target number of 20, which is really, really, really high, and a focus of 5. And it's told me that I've got 5 successes. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 for the 5. That's pretty neat. I'm pretty happy with this. It's pretty cool. I've working on the NPC sheet as well. It no longer throws a million errors. So this has a lot of the same stuff. If my awareness is 10, and my movement, let's go to agility because I know agility actually maps to. Agility is 10, combat is 4. If I want to attack someone, I roll my dice. It tells me 0 because I didn't set any dice. It rolls me my 2 dice. It tells me I get 1 success. So I've done a lot of work in the back reorganizing this to make it actually Conan specific instead of a generic system. There's some things that I really need to do still, and I've only just kind of picked it up again in the last little week. I did a lot of coding over a weekend, learning how the system worked, which was earlier in the year. And now I'm playing with this. There's a combat tracker, and this is the thing I need to currently work on. This does not work properly yet with my new sheets, so that's where I am. And once you get that done, you should be pretty good. Images. We got this Doom pit that again JC put together, so you can track Doom. So if you got a character and you're the GM, the character's like, I want to spend 2 points of Doom. They click there twice. It says Natara is using Doom twice. So you move the Doom up 2 manually because everything's not automated, and then close that. Close that. Close that. There's actually a way to minimize that. So we just go minimize, and then you get a little icon on here. Close that. Ta-da! Doom pit's there. The player group momentum's there. It's a better looking system than Roll20. I think it's going to be more functional than Roll20, especially for running Conan. Like now that I have all this stuff set up, I could essentially run a game now. I just would not have the combat tracker working properly, which is kind of a pain. If it worked, it'd be way easier to get access to your basic important stats like vigor and resolve. But I thought I would just drop this here and give you guys a heads up about what's going on in Conan, Land, and Fantasy Grounds. I'm trying to do a 2 or 3 hour game on Monday from like 6 o'clock Eastern, no, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's going to be 5 to 8 Pacific Time, and then 6 would be 8 till 11, I guess, for those guys. But I haven't decided that yet. I'm considering it, so you guys are watching now. Maybe it'll never go ahead. But this is what this system here I'm playing with, Fantasy Grounds, is going to be for. I don't have anything really built into here yet apart from the system. I'd really like to get the combat tracker working first, but it's not necessary. And I still have to learn how the system works with players too. I actually have no idea. I know you guys download the demo and you can connect to me as the guy with the ultimate license and you can play, but I don't know if you have to download my extension and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure about that. So I'm going to ask Mr. JC, the Jolly GM, because he's played with this a lot. So, yeah. So that is, I think, all of the crap I want to talk about this week on It Came from the Outer Dark. I'm not even adding an echo on there. I'm just doing it myself. Can you tell? Now, I'm probably going to do a craft video. I'm going to try. I have another idea for zones for Conan yet again. I think a mishmash of all the ideas I have is what's going to be most useful for the system. In this case, I'm going to take dungeon tiles, I think, and I'm going to make some that are a little bit fancier, a little bit, maybe some mosaics in them or something like that. And then when you lay them out, the camera's hard. I'll just say that the zones are, this one's a zone and this one's a zone, and in between isn't. So I'm going to do, I think, another combat demo using this Fantasy Ground system instead of Roll20, because, like I said, man, I'm not a fan of the Roll20. I'm going to do right up. I wrote a big thing on ICRPG about Roll20 versus Fantasy Grounds. Man, excuse me, but I get the advantages. I get why people like Roll20. It's simple. It's easy to use. You drop your stuff in. Easy to set up. I get it. But I can do some close to cool stuff in it for Conan. And you can see on the combat demo I did, I got a pretty decent Conan system working there. But I got a better one working here. A way better one working here. Like, it tells me how many successes I get. The one on Conan doesn't, or on Roll20 it tells you that if you roll under your target number, it tells you how many of those times you get, and then highlights it if you get under your focus. You still got to go look at it. It's not as good, man. It's just not as good. It's not as customizable. So, anyone have anything you want to say? Anything you want to bring up? Any questions you have? You guys all still here? Anything new in your worlds? And index card, copy. Oh, still this thing's good. Anything you want to add under there, man? Anything good going on in your world? Any cool games you came across? Did you get your get into your game on Roll20 after I shit talk Roll20? Yeah, I hear that. Work's sadly not really that busy for me. We're just trying to get our company organized after we got bought out, so imagine how much fun that is. Alright, let's go there, copy. So while we're still here, I'm just going to quickly close the Fantasy Grounds, open up Die Hard. So this is where I got the Doom Realm link from. And I'm just going to drop that link. I'm doing it right now so you guys can see the magic behind the screens here. Bang, saved. Yeah, it's not a lot of fun, but whatever. I'm still employed, right? So can't complain too much. But I think we're going to do two things. First thing I'm going to do is go here. Here, I'm going to turn that off, that back on. I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to answer an email from the girlfriend about food. Sure. So I get lunch. Otherwise, I won't get lunch. And that'll be bad. I'll be hungry then. That's all I got. I mean, I got nothing else. We got nothing else going on. So that is going to be an episode of It Came from the Outer Dark. And we will try and run another one. I don't know if I'll get one next week or not. I'm out of town, I think. Oh, no, I'm in town next week, but I got an event. So Friday will probably be okay. I probably will get one done. Well, maybe. We'll see. I might get one done next week. We'll try and get a craft video out for those zones, like I said, on Friday or on Wednesday. And other than that, I'm going to bid you all adieu. You all have a great weekend. Drink some beers for me. Neapolitan Milk Stout, bizarre. Oh, and of course, if you're watching and you're part of it, we are currently on 28th of October. So we've got 20, 28, 29, 30, 31, 4 days left in this month. So if you've been drawing and you've been making inks and you got to this point, don't give up now, man. Keep going. You're almost done. You almost did 31 days of art every day. Very cool. Proud of everyone that even tried. Even if you didn't make it. Don't care. Here's to art. Here's to role-playing games. Here's to war games. Here's to all you crazy fucks out there. You all have a good weekend, and I will catch you all later, provided I can figure out how to turn off my stream.